ceiling fan blowing cold breeze on your body. I can't tell you really what it is, but you got it. Makeup in the morning, you got dresses in your closet, but you grab them tight, you in love with being modest. You a more body giving centrifuges, I'm just saying I'm amused, but you ain't even flexing. And you cool, tatted up, cover wolf, different vibe, you know improve, but you ain't even flexing. And you ain't gotta try too hard. Number one fan, your side applaud. Let me think about it side them ones. Words cut deep, it's like a sword. Making me better, you hotter than pepper. You with a big stepper who chasing the cheddar. All of these women, they not on your level. You like a mix of business and pleasure. You a more body giving centrifuges. I'm just saying I'm amused, but you ain't even flexing. And you cool, tatted up, cover warm, different vibe, you know improve, but you ain't even flexing. 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 But you ain't even flexing.
Hello, hello, hello. It's me again. This is Real Talk with Amiri. Doing another one, y'all. I hope everyone is doing well. Hope everybody's getting through the days. Some days are harder than others. I agree. Definitely. But you got to keep going. You definitely have to keep going. But yes, y'all. Doing another one. This one, I am not 100% for sure how I came up with the topic, but it is about the feminization of men, not just black men, white men, Chinese, whoever, of men. Feminization, somebody asked me what does that mean? Is basically turning, and not literally, but making men more feminized, more like women. And why is that happening? What is the point? Is this deliberate? Is it just happening? What the hell is really going on? But this is about the feminization of men. It also has to do with your diet. And don't forget, your diet is not just about food. Your diet is also spiritual, it's cultural, it's about mental. So we have more than one diet. People say I'm going on a diet. It's more than one diet. But yes, this is the topic. And like I said, I'm not sure 100% sure how I came up with it, but Danielle had mentioned something about food, and I had seen something else, and it all just kind of came together, which happens a lot. So it just happens, or I come up with an idea, or whatever. And I did go check out a couple of articles on the topic. Some of them were coming more from a cultural perspective, but I think everybody thinks everything just happens, but a lot of things are deliberate, on purpose, a program that they put out. So I think we all need to start thinking about, well, dang, why do I keep seeing this message? Why do I keep hearing these type of songs? Why do I keep looking at these same advertisements? What all does this mean? Again, think. We don't think anymore. I don't know if we ever think we ever think at all. Some people do, but it's a minority of people. And the powers that be control the masses. But anywho, this is one article that I found, and this is actually a few years old. It's from 2016, and the title of it was the stark difference between millennial men and their dads. And for me, I definitely see, and I don't know if other people see the changes. You know, when I was young, a man represented, I thought of a certain thing when someone said a man and the attributes of a man and masculinity and being masculine. Today, you know, and this is not to, you know, put anybody down or make anybody feel bad about how they are or what they are or how they choose to act or what have you. This is my perception, my opinion, disclaimer. But when I was younger, I seen men and understood a man to be a certain thing. That was my perception, my education. Okay, a man is supposed to do this. A man is supposed to do that. This is how a man should make me feel. You know, I felt protected when my father was around, when my uncles or cousins were around. I felt protected. You know, there was they had certain characteristics. But anywho, this is the article, The Stark Difference Between Millennial Men and Their Dads. I'm just going to read a little bit of it. It's by Danielle Paquette, Washington Post illustrations. After Josh Ziola graduated from high school, he moved in with his girlfriend. He studied audio engineering at a community college and woke up each morning at 2 a.m. to make donuts at a bakery. She ran her own photography business and paid their bills. I dated someone who ran circles around me. He said, I didn't have the ability to help her. I panicked. I put down certain things she was doing because I was supposed to be the man. Ziola, now 26, said the insecurity sparked a breakup, then a downward slide. He wanted to be the provider, but he wasn't. He didn't look like the muscular, confident men on television. He was afraid to express the feelings that tore him up. When his car broke down one day at the grocery store, Ziola couldn't afford to fix it or retrieve it from the impound lot. He wouldn't ask anyone for money, so he dropped out of school, lost his job, and landed on a friend's couch. Wow. Just to ask for help. That was my interjection. I was paralyzed by the definition of what I had to be in my head. He said, I just couldn't see how I'd ever get there. I found Ziola, who lives in Rhode Island, after posting a journalistic call out on Facebook. Millennial guys would love to hear how you define masculinity. Some responders promptly cracked jokes, El Caminos, Motley Crue cassettes, beers, and man buns, but more sent private messages, eager to share their experiences. The young men in my small social media sample appear to relate to what national surveys have found. They don't completely identify with the brand of masculinity their fathers or grandfathers might have projected. And my question is, why is that? Where did that man go? Why is he gone? That provided for his family, that took accountability and responsibility to take care of the family that he started or produced. Where did that man go? And definitely there are some men that continue and still take care of their families. There definitely are still some. And some not, but there are some men that still do that, that are the breadwinners. And masculinity their fathers or grandfathers might have projected. That is to say, they're not the breadwinners or don't feel the need to be the sole breadwinners. And again, where did that need go to be the breadwinner, to protect your family, to take care of your family, to be the one in charge? But on the other hand, I hear a lot of men talk about, women are trying to be men, they're trying to do this and that. But if men were in that role, I myself, I would love, well, I'm not going to say that I would love, but I would have loved, like when my children were growing up, to be a wife, be at home, to take care of them at home. And of course these things still happen, but there are a lot of people who will never ever get to experience this because, in my opinion, men are not in their roles. Oh, she wants to be the boss, but if you gave her the opportunity to stay at home, take care of the children, provide everything in a secure way, in a fruitful way, then a lot of women would be okay with that. They look forward to raising babies. They reject a socially prescribed set of characteristics, still failing to fit the traditional masculinity mold has at some point drained their self-esteem. Last week, the international survey firm YouGov published a report called The Decline of the Manly Man. Surveyors asked 1,000 American men where they fall on the spectrum of completely masculine, 0 to completely feminine, 6. They did not ask about sexual orientation. That's a whole nother aspect. Less than a third of men in the 18 to 29 group reported feeling completely masculine, compared to 65% of those approaching retirement age. So there is a difference. There is something that is going on, that perspective has changed over time. 13% of those under 30 said they identified halfway between masculine and feminine, and 12% said they're slightly feminine. Whew. But that is just a little bit of that article. I have also just recently, and I know there are so many things that go on with the things that are happening today. I know our diets, they're basically killing us. If we eat a traditional diet, for me, I believe our spiritual diet overrides everything. So you can change some things if you're thinking and you are using your spiritual mind, your spiritual brain, to counteract some things. That's me. But there are a lot of things that are hurting us: our diets, our culture, the way they are educating us, the things that we see and we just jump on board with them. A lot of things that are hurting us. Another article I found, this is actually, I don't know if it's a report, kind of an article. The forced effeminization of male Chinese immigrants and the consequences of this process. So someone took a look at that and seen something. And there are a lot of things that we don't realize are happening or being perpetuated by something that's done? And does the person know that's doing it? Is this really just by accident again, or is it on purpose? The aim of this paper is to uncover and highlight the forced effeminization of male Chinese immigrants and the consequences of this progress during the Chinese Exclusion Act era. The Chinese Exclusion Act era is defined by a period of time within American history in which strict and scrutinizing laws were created with the aim of restricting access to the United States for Chinese people. Additionally, these laws aim to restrict the freedom of the Chinese people might have had whilst living their lives in America if they ever were to make it through such oppressive borders. The most notable of such laws was the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, which was not officially repealed until 1943. The harsh treatment of Chinese people in America was, regardless, very persistent both before and after the time period. This was neither the first nor the last law to target the ethnic group, but was largely only repealed in order to repay China for their assistance as an ally during World War II. But yes, the effeminization of people has been going on a very long time. It's not just black men, it's Chinese men, white men. It's a lot of different people. But I am going to put a link to this. I didn't really get to look at this one. I only looked at a few parts. For the few Chinese men who were able to successfully immigrate, stereotyping was sadly a common way to advertise oneself for work. In Chinese exclusion era America, a typical example of this very popular icon within the laundry industry was that of the Chinese laundrymen. And for the most part, laundry is a woman's job, female job. But they portrayed it as a male job. So there are a lot of things that went on. I'm gonna possibly put this picture. Yeah, this is old. I can put this picture in my YouTube video. The advertisement shown below gives insight into the feminization of Chinese men through work. For it is due to the man's career that he is drawn with makeup and pictured in an ad revolving around laundry, a feminine job, to begin with. Such extreme persecution and misery for a Chinese person who sought out a life in America may make it difficult to understand why so many people still try to immigrate. And I think that's probably, an ideal for black people. Why are we still here? Because we don't really know any different. So it would be hard for us to just pack up and go. Go back to Africa. That's what they say. But this is about the effeminization of men. This is just another article that I found. The title of it is How Male Fragility Can Impact Women's Sexual Experiences. A recent study found when women perceive men as having fragile masculinity, they are more likely to fake orgasms and withhold open sexual communication. Men who perceive their manhood as threatened are more likely to act aggressively. Societal norms around men's behavior to be strong and emotionless must change for the benefit of all. And I definitely don't think that being masculine means that you don't have emotions. I think you can do both, and that's needed. And a lot of the things we see, they either want to go left or right, one way or the other. And as far as the communication, fragility, I think a lot of men are very they're and I can't say, as in not to hurt anyone's feelings, but they're too feminine. There should be a difference between me and you. I'm a woman and you're a man. There should be a difference, in my opinion. In the first study, researchers found that women who had a higher income than their partners were twice as likely to fake orgasm and to have lower rates of sexual satisfaction. Next, they explored the impact of assumed fragile masculinity on sexual communication. Women who believed their partner had a high level of fragile masculinity were less likely to discuss their sexual needs and more likely to fake an orgasm. The researchers attributed this partly to communication anxiety. And I don't think we communicate well. People are always they don't want to say what's on your mind. Let's get this out. And then we can deal with it after that. That's how I work. That's how I want to work, but I don't get that a lot. But say what's on your mind. Tell me what's going on. What do you want? Let me decide if I want to do this or that, or what is it that you really want. Just open up your mouth. That's my thing. What is fragile masculinity? Fragile masculinity is frequently a buzzword thrown around to describe men perceived as insecure. While this paints part of the picture, there's more to the term from emotional and societal perspectives. And again, a lot of our men are not growing up with their fathers in their lives. So let's reel the fishing pole back. Go back. Where does some of these things come from? You didn't have a father in your life. You didn't have a man in your life to teach you this is how it goes. This is how you should feel. This is how I feel, son. This is how I hope you should feel too. We're just looking at today, not looking at why today is today. Society tells men they should be financially successful, physically strong, and have a high sex drive, but ignore the communal responsibility or character traits that are critical to being a compassionate person in the world. And some of that, we want to go back to why isn't someone financially successful? They haven't been taught to be financially successful. It just, again, we're not talking about the roots of things. Physically strong. Were you around your dad where he worked out or he worked and showed you how to be a strong male? No, you're around your mother. Most women are not out here lifting weights and playing football and basketball and sports. So you didn't learn how to do that. It's all a part of a bigger problem. Why still perceived in a male society centered society as the weaker sex? Women are also socialized to be emotionally available and stronger in their relationships and not expect much in return. And that's effed up too. We have all these relationship problems and societal problems, human problems, and we're not fixing them. The stuff we're doing is not fixing them. In relationships, fragile masculinity can often lead to feelings of inadequacy. The challenge emerges when people make decisions based on those feelings that are inauthentic or potentially harmful in relationships, says Dr. Jennifer Littner, sexologist and founder of the Chicago-based wellness center Embrace Sexual Wellness. For example, Littner explains that if a man believes they need to be tall to find a relationship, they may lie about their height on dating apps. Additionally, a person's feeling of lacking certain things that they should bring to the relationship can cause shame and guilt. Don't do shame or guilt. Go out and do what you need to do. If you feel like you want to be that, go do that. Expressed at the expense of their partner. According to Queen, this may represent an emotional unavailability, anger, deception, emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, and gaslighting to make their partner feel at fault for their insecurities. Woo! That's a whole bucket. But those are just a couple of articles that I found about the effeminization of men. And that is, I mean, for me, the things that I have observed in the world today is just that men are not the same. Men are wanting to be glamorous and a lot of the attributes of women. And I'm not saying that a man can't look good and dress nice. I like a man in a nice suit, but at some point, you know, and for me, I told y'all I believe that I can feel a lot of energy from people. And a lot of men, I don't feel masculine energy. I feel more feminine energy from them. And they can be, they might be dressed like a man, but I'm not feeling that masculine energy from you. And that's me. And I know, and they be thinking they looking good, and I don't feel no man from. I don't feel a lot of masculine energy from you. And I like masculine energy. I don't want someone to be overly masculine or misogynistic, those type of things. But I want to know that, hey, if I went out with you, I'm not gonna have to fight, or you gonna be able to, protect me in any type of situation. That's just what I like. You don't have to be rude or putting women down or talking down to me, but I know that, and I feel that you're a man, I'm a woman. If some shit go down, you gonna be there. And a lot of men that I see out there, I don't feel that. Some men yes, some men no, and that's not every man, of course. And then we have to go to, we're talking about some cultural things that have been put into place and done, but there's also our physical diet, our food diet. Testosterone, that's a male chemical. Estrogen, woman chemical. We both have both of them. But if what I listened to this week is, if your testosterone level is low, then there are going to be repercussions from that. There are going to be side effects from that. A lot of men have ED, I hear about. Can't get it up. Why is that? They be like, well, I'm normal. I'm not doing drugs. I'm not doing this or that. What is it? Our food, diet. A lot of men have male boobs. And when I was younger, like elementary school, high school, unless you were like severely overweight, I never seen a male with man boobs. And I'm trying to think back, but I didn't see that. You had a chest. But those are one of the things. If your estrogen level in a man is too high, your testosterone level is too low, you're going to have the excessive chest fat, decreased sex drive, decreased muscle mass, or you're getting smaller. You see a lot of men out here that are thin. And I see men that were thin when I was younger, but they still had that masculine energy about them. But whatever. and how society feminizes you as far as your diet. They're putting a lot of chemicals. One chemical I heard about is a herbicide called atrazine. It's the second most used herbicide in America, and it can actually change a male frog into a female frog, and it's allowed in our water. So, what do you think that's doing to men? Just a question. Y'all have to go do your research. Do a question. Uh, Put that question out there and go research it. Low testosterone. Go get your testosterone checked. If you're having problems, and you know me, if I was having problems with this, and that, I'm at least gonna go get it checked. I'm not may not take no prescriptions or all that shit, RXs, but I am going to go get it checked and see what's going on. There's You don't really have any other options. You gotta go get it checked. Some of the things that I learned about low testosterone can do, of course, the man boobs, balding, aging early, lack of motivation, and I see that. I used to see a lot of men that were, they're doing this, they're doing sports, they're out doing this, doing that. But if your testosterone is low, you may not have that motivation to go out here, get a job, take care of your family, do what you need to do. And if your testosterone is in the low hundreds, you could have an issue. Go check it out. High estrogen is damaging women, and on the opposite side of the effeminization of men, they're trying to masculinize. Is that a word? Make women masculine. And what is it? Phthalates, parabens, increased estrogen, which can cause problems in women. And all these health issues, somebody's making money off of them, ultimately. And I don't think they trying to be specific. They are like, we just gonna make them sick and they gonna have to come to us to get something. But we gonna get paid regardless. Increase in estrogen, long periods, steals away your vitamin D. And for black people, vitamin D is intricate. We need that. But our meat has phthalates in them, fake estrogen for men. Makes your testosterone go down, increases the man boobs. And then if you think, all this stuff is hormonal too. It controls some of your hormones. And hormones are a big part of life. Your hormones can tell our bodies what to do. So that hormonal reaction, I see a lot of men these days. I'm like, why they just go out and shoot somebody or kill somebody? Or it just doesn't make sense. Maybe they're hormonal. Hormones too high, hormones out of whack. And that goes for a lot of black men. I'm gonna just go shoot somebody. I'm gonna just shoot somebody because I walk by him, or some of this stuff doesn't make sense. So why is it happening? What's the root? Is it our hormones? We're eating bullshit. We're getting fed bullshit culture, bullshit identities. We're just being fed a whole lot of bullshit. Social media, commercials, advertising, all of this is our diet. How is it affecting us? Education, that's another diet. bullshit education. So we got to start thinking and doing our research. But the effeminization of men, it is very real. It can just be an outfit they're putting out. Oh, that looks kind of girly. If I can wear it and you can wear it, what's going on? Men that want to do the purses and the skirts. And skirts are, I know in the Irish culture, men wear kilts. That's their culture. That's not our culture. And most of the time, most of the men that I've seen in a kilt, they were not masculine. I mean, they were not feminine. I'm sorry, forgive me. They were not feminine. They were very masculine, even in a kilt. But there are a lot of things that are going on. It's if you look at our young people today and our young people back in the day, there's a vast difference in the energy that was put out. And if everybody's going to be a woman, if everybody's going to be feminine, how is that going to affect everybody's life? Who's going to protect the country? Who's going to go to war? Who's going to protect our families if everybody's feminine? And again, that question rolls around. If women are supposed to be in charge, then let's let women be in charge. Let's tell women, okay, men, we don't want to be men no more. We want to let women rule the world, and we want to let women do everything. And I need to do a podcast on that too, like when women did rule the world and what happened. When did that go off key? Because right now it seems like it's going back. Women are ruling the world. And it's either women or it's men who choose to be women, want to be women, whatever that thought is. But there's a lot going on. A lot going on in the world. And y'all, and I just wanted to make a quick podcast on this topic. The effeminization of men. And again, go do your research. Go look at your diet. If you're having problems, and I would imagine that if a man is feminine or being effeminized, that he may not see it. Because I look at some men, and again, they talking hard and, oh, I'm this man, I'm this, I'm that, but buddy, you don't look like that. You're giving me a feminine look, and I'm a woman. So all that hard talk, it kind of is null and void. Just because you go shoot somebody or kill somebody, you're still looking feminine to me. And that's just something for people and men to think about. As a woman, I'm not attracted to a feminine man. You can be my friend, of course. You can always be my friend. We can always be friends. Always. But as far as a relationship, I really don't want a feminine man. That's not my go-to. I want someone that has some masculine energy. Because those go together. We will always want to reinvent the wheel. Masculine and feminine are supposed to be attracted to each other. And that's how it was set up. But we want to change it. We always want to change everything. But yes, this has been another Real Talk with Amiri podcast. Just doing another one, just a little topic. Something for everybody to think about. And men, you need to be in your sons' lives. That will help a whole lot with the effeminization of boys and men. And some men may not want to be strong, but why? Was your father there? Did you see that? Is it okay to be feminine as a male? I guess so, because some women, again, did not see a strong father figure, so they don't know, or they were not attracted to that. But I'm attracted to a strong male. That's me. But yes, y'all, this has been another Real Talk with Amiri podcast. Everyone have a lovely evening. Have a great rest of the week. Peace.